So, previously on What If Beerus Found Goku, we left off with King Piccolo being defeated and spitting out an egg. Now, in part 2, this is where we start. So, while Goku and Whis were training, Whis told Goku to take a break and he'll be right back. And Whis goes off. Goku being left alone, sitting there pondering his thoughts, thinking about all of his friends. Then he hears a voice in his head. It's Kami. And Goku asks, "Who is this?" And Kami says, "I'm Kami, the god over at Earth. And I need your help." Goku says, "What do you need help with?" Kami says, "King Piccolo, the one that you killed, spat out an egg containing his son, Piccolo Jr. And he will come back in some time, and I fear he might destroy the planet. Will you help me, Goku?" Goku says, "Yes, Kami," being nice and kind-hearted, but knowing his duties from Whis and Beerus when he has to go fix rights and wrongs. But Whis comes back and he's holding a gi. It's a purple gi. Goku looks at it and just knows it's for him. And he runs up to Whis, grabbing it and hugging him. He says, "Thank you, Whis. I really like the gi a lot." And Whis says, "I'm glad you like it. Now, let's get back to, go put that on and let's get back to training." Goku says, "Okay." And he runs off and then comes back very soon after. And then they start training. And the next day, when Goku woke up, he had a sudden feelingness of lonely. And he couldn't bear to go without his friends. So he flew down to Earth knowing he had training that day, just to go hang out with Yamcha, Krillin, and Bulma. And then, realizing how fun it was to hang out with them, he started doing this more frequently. And he did this for a couple of years, and he's been missing out on training. So, he's not going to be that strong in the future, but yeah. So, anyway, Goku, now waking up, he realizes that there's the second Tenkaichi Budokai is happening right now, and he's gonna sleep through it if he doesn't get up. So Goku gets up and teleports down to Earth and starts flying to the tournament matches. And he makes it just on time. And he sees Bulma, Krillin, Yamcha, and he sees a girl that sticks out, but he doesn't know who she is until Bulma says, "Hey, Chi-Chi." And Chi-Chi looks over and says, "Hey, back to Bulma." And if I didn't mention in part 1, since Goku wasn't there, because in part 1, since Goku wasn't there to, actually talk to Chi-Chi, someone else had to save her, and that's what Bulma did. So Bulma and Chi-Chi know each other. Anyway, back to the video. But, so Chi-Chi would walk over and start talking with Bulma. And Yamcha looked at Goku and he said, I know this time I'll make it to the finals and I'll beat you. Because I've been training a lot. And Goku says, you sure have. Smiling. Now, power levels. Goku, since he slacked off on training and didn't really get much training in. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say because I went over this last night. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah. Wait, here's the paper. Alright, sorry. So, Goku's power level is 1,000. Why did I say 1,000? Oh. 11,000. Sorry. Yeah. So, it's Goku's power level is 11,000. And Yamcha's power level is actually 350. So, it went up significantly over the years. But since Yamcha was hanging out with Goku too, he didn't get much training in either. But he still got tons of training in, well, not tons, I guess. But he got good training with Krillin. And Krillin's power level is now 400. And Chi-Chi's power level is tied with Krillin's. So, if they were into a fight, you wouldn't know who would win. And Goku, as I said, likes to keep things fair. So, he's going to lower his power down to around 400. So, he'll be tied with the others. And if he feels like he's being overwhelmed, he'll raise it by 50. So, the first match, already, Yamcha gets into a match with Chi-Chi. Krillin gets into a match with a random opponent. And Goku gets into a match with a random opponent. Goku having slight trouble since he wasn't using his full power. But he still ends up winning. Krillin also having slight trouble, but not as much as Goku had. He still wins. And Chi-Chi and Yamcha commence their battle. Yamcha already starts off with a wolf fang fist, going straight for Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi will then grab one of his arms in the midst of his doing his move and slam him on the ground. Yamcha will quickly recover, turning around and punching Chi-Chi back. Chi-Chi will then catch herself, and she'd run back to Yamcha and starts throwing a lot of punches at him. Yamcha can barely dodge these punches, but he's dodging them. But then Chi-Chi lands a kick and then punches him into the ground, knocking him out. Chi-Chi wins. And alright, I'm back, sorry. So, now, Goku faces a random opponent. Chi-Chi is now going to be going against Krillin. And there's 2 other fights that's going to happen, but those are between random opponents. And we're not going to, no. One is Ten Shinhan, because Ten Shinhan is there. So it's going to be Ten Shinhan in one of those battles, because Ten Shinhan is going to the Tenkaichi Budokai. But much later, because, I don't know, plot. But, so anyway, so Tien Shinhan, is fighting a random opponent. Another fighter is fighting a random opponent. Chi-Chi and Krillin are about to fight, and Goku wins his match. So Goku wins his match. Tien wins his match, and the random opponent, number one, of course, won his match. Yeah. So, now, Chi-Chi and Krillin have a stare down, and then they commence into battle, with Chi-Chi dashing at Krillin and kicking him high in the air. She jumped up and elbowing him right back down into the ring. Krillin would then grab her arm and throw her off of him, trying to catch his breath. In the midst of catching his breath, Chi-Chi comes back with many punches and kicks. She just barely dodges them off and punches her in her stomach, making her fatigued. Then he would power up a ki blast and he would shoot it at the ground under her, and it would make a smoke screen so she couldn't see him. Then he would grab a hold of her, jump up in the air, and turn his body upside down. And he would start falling down into the air, going faster and faster. And Chi-Chi is about to hit the ground on her head. But then she gets one of her arms loose, and she puts her hand on the floor and does a one-handed back spring off the ground, landing on her feet. Then she'd grab Krillin and she'd slam him on the ground, and she'd pick him up by his legs, she'd twirl around, and she'll throw him out of the ring. Chi-Chi won. Now, Goku versus Tien Shinhan, and the random opponent versus Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi wins her match with relative ease, and Goku is getting ready to fight Tien Shinhan. Oh wait, Piccolo Jr. I keep doing that. It's probably because I'm tired. I'm sorry, guys. Well, Chi-Chi loses to King Piccolo. Piccolo Jr. But, so, this is the fight between Tien Shinhan and Goku. Goku, already commencing into battle, he dashes straight for Tien Shinhan and punches him in the gut. Then he would proceed to grab Tien Shinhan's arm and swing him around, then slamming him on the ground. But before he let go, he launched him up in the air. Tien Shinhan, still fatigued and still stunned by how much speed he's been being attacked with, he then regains his thoughts. And as he's in the air, he shoots an evil containment wave right at Goku. And Goku just barely dodges it and makes it out. Goku then jumps up, grabs Tien Shinhan's legs, and pulling him down. Tien Shinhan would then punch Goku to get him off and do a front flip, landing on his feet, turning around, shooting a ki blast at Goku. Goku would then recover with a backflip and then landing on his feet. He would block the ki blast and then he would dash at Tien Shinhan, punching him in the gut, and he won. Now, on to Piccolo versus Goku. Goku, knowing that this guy is a threat and much stronger than Chi-Chi, he raises his power level up to 800, and he stares at Piccolo Jr.'s eyes. Piccolo Jr. staring back into his. Goku wants to see what his power level is, so he focuses on Piccolo's power level, and he realizes his power level is 650. So, as the battle commences, Goku goes straight for Piccolo, but Piccolo, extending his arms, punches Goku in the face, and then grabs Goku's shoulders, bringing him closer and kneeing him in the stomach. Goku, still being stunned by how he just grew his arms, stretched his arms. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Stretched his arms. But Goku then regains his thoughts and knees Piccolo in the stomach, punches him in the air, and shoots a ki blast. Piccolo extends his arms and grabs the ground and pulls himself down just in time to dodge the ki blast. But he wasn't fast enough to dodge Goku's punch, and Goku punched him right in the face, sending him back to the edge of the ring. And Piccolo had enough. He then starts to grow big, and now he's giant Piccolo. And this, I'm pretty sure this boosts his power level. So right now he's basically on par with Goku. So his power level is like 800 now. And so Goku will go in for a punch, but Piccolo would do the same, and their punches clash. Goku then will go back in for an assault, but then he'll get smacked down by Piccolo. And right before Piccolo was about to step on him, he flew out of there. Goku thought to himself and said, I might have to use more power. And he powers up. He is now using 1,500. His power level is now at 1,500. He goes to Piccolo and he punches him. Piccolo tips over, but he doesn't fall. He then tries to punch Goku, but Goku catches his fist with ease. And then Goku starts flying in the air. Goku is having a hard time lifting up Piccolo, so Piccolo then swats him down. But it doesn't do much damage to Goku, as Goku gets back up from the bottom of the ring. Goku then thinks, if I can't lift him up, I'll knock him down. Goku then flies up in front of Piccolo. Piccolo takes a swipe at Goku. Goku dodges it and goes right behind Piccolo. Then he punches him right behind where his kneecap, making him fall to one knee. And then Goku grabbed his arm and pulled him down, making him fall all the way down. Goku then flew up and started charging a death ball. Goku will calmly say, death ball, and launch it. It goes straight through Piccolo's chest, killing. Well, not killing. Almost killing Piccolo. When Goku flies down, he starts to take pity on Piccolo, and he gives him a senzu bean, and Piccolo regenerates the hole in his chest. Goku offers for him to come train with Krillin, Yamcha, and himself, but he scoffs. Piccolo scoffs, and he flies. Well, he doesn't fly. He leaves. Well, everyone's celebrating Goku's victory. They all laugh and are proud. And now, Goku goes back to Whis, and he apologizes to Whis. He's like, hey Whis, I'm sorry I've been ditching training for more than 3 years now. Yeah, and I hope I can make up for that. And Whis is like, yeah, you can. So Whis now has Goku running errands for him it's to go to different planets getting food for Whis to eat. And on top of that, he has to train. So, no, actually, and on another planet, not too far from beerus' planet, there are three sands, and they're talking to each other. The three sands are Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa. Vegeta tells Raditz, if we're planning on overthrowing Frieza, we're gonna need a lot more than just us three. Nappa agrees. Raditz says, well, all the sands were wiped out, remember? Vegeta says, dang it. Wait, wasn't your brother sent to some universe called Earth? Raditz said, yeah, what about it? He's a weakling. And Vegeta said, well, we have to take whatever we can get. And plus, maybe he's not a weakling, Nappa would say. He said, whenever I pass by Earth sometimes, my scouter would go off. And it would read a power level above 10,000. So maybe he's not as weak as we think. Vegeta said, well, let's train for 3 months, and then I'll send you two there. Raditz and Nappa agree. So, for the 3 months, they've been training non-stop, only stopping until they fall asleep. And Raditz's power level, by the end of the 3 months, goes to 3,000. And Nappa's, from the end of this, goes to 6,000. And Vegeta, since being way stronger than them both combined, doesn't really get much stronger. But his power level is now 16,500. So it went up by 500. So, yeah. Now, Raditz and Nappa are going towards Goku. Going towards, the Earth, sorry. 1 year passes, and Goku is on Earth with a couple of friends. Not a couple of friends, you know. Bulma, Yamcha, Tien Shinhan, Chi-Chi, Krillin, Master Roshi. And they're all on Kame House. At Kame House. Until Raditz comes around. Raditz reads everybody's power level, and he sees everyone there is weaker. Then Nappa comes, and he says, so what did the scouter say? He says, everyone here is weaker. That 10,000 power level you've seen couldn't have been real. Even my brother is weak. And Goku would sit there and say, brother, is he talking about me? Because Goku, by this time, knows he's a Saiyan, and he knows what Saiyans look like, since he was taught by Whis. So, Raditz looks at Goku and says, Kakarot, join us, or we'll destroy this planet. Goku not really wanting to join them because he doesn't know why they want him to join. He tells them no, and he says, you might want to leave this planet before you get hurt. Nappa and Raditz laugh in unison, saying, your power level is so weak. It's at 1,000. Goku, getting tired of being mocked, raises his power level to 4,000, which is 1,000 above Raditz's power level. Raditz is like, you've been hiding this power? Nappa says, it's fine. It's the both of us, and my power level is much higher than that. And all the Z fighters raise their power level, but Krillin being the strongest out of all the Z Fighter. His power level is only at 665. And with that 665, I meant 50. My bad. His power level is 650. Chi-Chi's power level is 600. Tien Shinhan's power level is 600. Yamcha's power level is 550. So all of them being close together in power. But they know that none of them could take on either of them, even all together. Goku says, I got this. And he flies off with Nappa and Raditz following him. Goku then stops in an open field, and he stares at Raditz and Nappa. He was like, now there's just us here. I'll raise my power level to its extent. Goku starts charging his power, and when Goku powers up, his power level at the end of training is 14,000. Since he had extreme training with Whis because all the other times he missed out. Sorry about that. That was background noise. But so he raises his power level, and it's all the way up to 14,000. Raditz and Nappa have both of their scouters explode. They are both trembling in fear, but they know that if they go back and they didn't complete their mission, Vegeta is going to kill himself. So they both fly at Goku, and Goku would block, and they both try to land a kick on Goku. Goku will block both the kicks and do a flip back and shooting them both with Ki Blast. They would fly back, recovering, and start flying straight for Goku. And as Goku is about to punch them, they go around him from behind and they punch him in the back. Goku would then hit the ground and stand back up. He would teleport to Nappa and punch Nappa. Raditz would then try to land a barrage of punches and kicks on Goku, with Goku blocking every single one, and then using both his fists and driving them into Raditz's armor, breaking the armor and knocking Raditz into the ground, making a small crater as he hits it. Nappa then gets back up and launches a Nappa cannon, but Goku just goes through the beam, no problem. And he punches Nappa in the face and knees him in the stomach. He then grabs Nappa by the foot and would slam him on Raditz. He would then pick up Raditz and shoot a Ki Blast through his stomach. I said Raditz, I meant Nappa. And then, as he prepares to kill Raditz with a death ball, Raditz begs for mercy, saying he'll change his ways and he'll join your side. Goku not believing him at first, saying, no, you're just trying to pull a quick one on me. But Raditz says, think about it. You're strong enough to be me and Nappa at the same time. What could I possibly do? Goku thinks about this for a second, and he realizes Raditz is right. So he picks up Raditz and he walks away. He walks back to Kame House, and everybody there is surprised why Goku is holding Raditz. Goku said, I decided to spare Raditz. He said he joined the Z Fighters, and if he even tries to do anything funny, I can just stop him right in his tracks. They all think, and they said they're fine with that. But they don't really trust him just yet. So they give him a senzu bean, and Raditz now has the power level of 5,000 because of the Zenkai. but she decides to go off and train with Goku since none of the Earthlings can really match his power. But right before they leave, Piccolo comes by with the power level of 1,000. He says, "You mind if I train with you?" He said to Goku. And Goku would look and say, "Yeah, sure." And they would all fly off into the open field that he beat Nappa. And they start training. Now, that's what I'm gonna leave it off. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment on if you liked it or not. Well, peace.